Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
All right. Welcome to episode 9 of the Jeff Dye Friendship Podcast. If you're listening, thanks, guys. Thanks for all the positive feedback, and thanks for the rating. I sound a little sick, but don't worry. It won't affect the episode. You'll still be able to recognize it's me. This episode is so fun and so special. This is Brooke Hogan, daughter of Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Most of you guys who know me or are familiar with me, or even if you're just getting to know me, you know I'm obsessed with Hulk Hogan. So to have his daughter here was pretty cool, but also she's cool. Forget that she's the daughter of Hulk Hogan. She is a talented singer. She had her own reality show with her dad. I'm trying to get her into wrestling, all part of my plot, which we talk about on this episode. You guys are going to love this episode. It's so fun. She's just so positive and so sweet and so fun to be around. And I'm learning that a lot of my guests are like that. I think I'm drawn, or I have a knack to people who are just friendly. You guys are going to enjoy getting to know her. I was really, I don't know the term for it. I was very taken aback with how great she was and how open she was and trusting and vulnerable. You guys are going to love her. I love her. Enjoy episode 9 of Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. And we're in. This is the episode right here. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us again on another great episode of Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast.
Yeah.
As usual, Tony Reavis in the house.
What's up? In the house.
Thanks for being here, Tony.
Of course.
I have to thank you because I wouldn't know how to do this.
I know. We say that almost every time, though.
But it's important that
It's
I like
important
this.
and it's true every
keep
episode.
saying it. Yeah,
And it's
let's keep
important that
saying
you
it.
know you're important.
I'm so important.
I'm reaffirming how my feelings towards you.
Good. I love it.
All right. So don't
Great.
make me feel weird
I
about
know.
repeating
Say it
stuff.
again.
What a
One more
piece
time.
of what a hairy piece of trash.
Hey.
All right. So we love you. Thanks for being here.
Hey, I love everybody.
Is there going to be a problem like with the Richard one? Or
I sure hope
we're
not.
shooting.
Don't jinx it.
All right,
we're
we're
good.
recording.
Everything's good.
The listeners don't know that Richard's had a
I
technical
edit
error.
all
I'm going to
that.
put that in the intro.
I edit all
okay,
that
never
out.
mind.
They'll
no one
know,
knows.
Aaron.
Okay,
They
never
will
mind,
know.
you're right.
I don't let any mistake go miss.
All right.
Aaron, thanks for being here, buddy.
Thanks. If I could just take a moment to thank Tony Reavis for how important he is.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
and
we already
doing all
covered
this.
that.
Woo. No,
we
say
covered
that.
that?
Yeah.
Was that before the error or after
God,
the
you
error?
never listen.
When we're going to introduce me?
All right.
Okay.
Now, 2 pieces of trash. But which brings us to our featured guest, which I'm very excited to have. Brooke Hogan, everybody.
Yes.
You mean the dinosaur Brooke Hogan that has no idea how to operate technology anymore?
No, that's all of us, for sure.
So bad.
Are you good with technology?
No, that's what we talk about. Everything keeps messing up on you.
Would you consider yourself a techie guy?
No, I am.
No, I would
am.
have as a kid, and as time's gone on, it just zipped right past me.
Okay. Yeah, I think, technology has evolved
Yeah.
past us.
I'm good at it.
Way too fast.
Besides the-
Alien fast.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in myself though, because I was like, I'm gonna have to find directions here like old school
Yeah, like
times. Like when
MapQuest.
I was
Get
16.
an
Yeah, my
atlas.
brother's like
Yeah.
MapQuest, and I'm like, what the? I
That
can't
is
MapQuest
amazing.
anything. Yeah.
Well, sorry about your phone.
Thank
Happy
you.
made it old-fashioned style, like the
Old-fashioned
Wild
style.
West. Got here without using any technology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so without a
I'm
cell
proud of
phone,
it.
do you
I
get
did.
like a stagecoach to come Uber you over here? Like, how does that
Oh my
work?
god!
have to
And
whistle.
everybody's suggesting things. They're like, "Well, why don't you Uber?" I'm like, "Because I need my phone to Uber,
Right.
you
Yeah.
dummy."
That is a famous thing. People love, we should talk about this. They love to blame the victim, and I know that's usually commonly used for like big crimes.
Right.
But they love to blame the victim on, like, so for instance, my car, they smashed the window and they stole my backpack out.
Right.
Now, instead of just being like, "Oh, Jeff, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Did you lose anything bad?" Everyone's response was like, "Why didn't you just bring your bag with you? Why would you leave your bag in the car?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Well, because I was going to yoga, and if I leave the bag in the yoga lockers, there's been tons of theft there, and if it got stolen from there, you would have said, well, why didn't you leave it in your car?" It's literally, we find a way to blame
Yeah.
Yeah,
You go
it's
to
frustrating.
yoga?
Yeah, I love
what
yoga.
kind of yoga?
Core power yoga.
I
Well,
go
it's
to
just
core
Bikram.
power yoga too.
You do?
Really?
I've never seen you
I
there.
texted you one time and I was like, I swear to God, I just saw your doppelganger at yoga.
Oh, that was me.
Probably him.
Yeah, I go all the time. I'm like obsessed with it.
Which one do you go to? Well, I don't-
Sherman Oaks, right here.
Oh, okay. I go to
this one,
the
and then
one
Studio
in Studio City.
I go to that one also.
I did see you.
The
I was
best one
like,
about the Studio City is that like
But he didn't see me, that's the
parking's
problem.
tricky.
Did you
Parking's
try
tricky at
yelling?
the Studio City
Yelling
one.
No,
works.
it's the parking garage. You'd think it was tricky, but then once you
Also,
get
I've
into the parking
never
garage.
mistake like you don't blend in. You know, like you're a big, tall, blonde, good look. Like nobody's not seeing Brooke
Well,
Hogan,
Especially in downward dog.
especially at yoga. Yeah.
Maybe my ass wasn't recognizable.
Yeah,
Who
maybe.
knows?
Man, I don't know. I don't think that's it either. I don't think you're nailing it at all, bro.
I actually just went today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I'm
then my
going
phone
tomorrow.
died shortly
Let's go
after.
tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah, I will go with you tomorrow.
Look at that.
But I will let you know. I kill the sculpt class.
I'm good.
Are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I do
Really?
Sculpt. Sculpt's my favorite. Do you go with Ryan? OC?
I don't know
He'll
their
be
names.
a future guest. He's a
I
sweetheart.
don't know. I like Brendan though. The tall.
Does he have a beard?
No, he's
Oh.
super. He's like skinny, like an avatar.
I don't know that guy, but
Like,
but
he
Ryan
reminds me
OC
of an-
is a big avatar-looking guy.
Really?
Also,
Oh,
so
I
Wait,
don't
so are
know.
all the yoga people tall, thin,
Yes.
good-looking people?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
they all look the
No,
same.
there's some short,
and
stocky
you know they're
ones
tall
though.
when Brooks calling
Thank
them tall.
you.
Brooks tall. How tall are you, Brooke?
I'm 5'10".
Oh, that's not
Every
as tall
time
as I
you see
recall.
me, I'm
I
in
know.
heels though.
Yeah, that's
so I'm
what
like
it is.
6'2".
In my mind, you're 6'3".
I
Like,
You do it on
about-
purpose?
yeah, I
You're like,
thought
I gotta
about-
cheat these numbers.
I don't know. You know what, too? Because it's like sometimes it's actually a turn off, especially with men. They're like, oh my God, she's huge. And I'm like, not when I don't have my shoes on. I'm actually normal size.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is interesting.
Yeah.
Aaron, what do you feel about that? Aaron is.
I'm a short man.
Aaron is without heels. He is 4 foot. What is it? How tall are you?
I'm 5'3" with heels on, Jeff. Please.
With heels on.
My clear heels, I'm 5'5".
Do you like the taller ladies, or do you not like a taller lady?
It depends on how dramatically tall. There was once for a short period of time I tried to date a girl that was
Dramatically
6'4".
That's
Oh,
real
And that
tall.
was
Oh my
too much.
God.
Well, then she was beautiful and she was flirty with me, and I'm like, I'm being an idiot. I'm
Too
being
much tree to
shallow.
climb.
But it was too much like I'm going out with mommy for the day when I would like leave the house.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like maybe 6'4"
on you for
is
trying,
too much.
though. You tried.
Yeah, well, that's not her fault. She's tall.
Right.
Like everything else was great. I just wasn't the height.
Right.
And so
So
like
you deserve a taller
so
man.
exactly. No, so I feel bad when a little bit about it because girls definitely are like, you're 5'3", you're a foot away from even having a chance with me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, I also kind of
you
get
just
it.
have to
crazy.
tell them it doesn't matter when you're laying down.
Hey, that's a good
Oh,
argument. And they're
Hey.
like, "Oh, you're already trying to have sex with me?" You're like, "No, just
No.
Brooke Hogan said
I will agree with any girl's excuse on it.
that is
Oh my
fun.
God.
I like a taller gal. I'm into that. But I've never dated a girl taller than me.
Well, wait, but to put your
Do they come taller than you?
I
girls?
don't think so. I'm 6'4".
yeah, they come in lesbian taller.
I think
than
you're
me.
taller than 6'4". I think so too. Strictly Dickly. I think you're way taller than
In
6'4".
WWF, I'm 6'8".
Yeah.
I
You know how
think
they
you're
always fudge the
taller.
numbers? Like they always like make you like a little
Right.
bit like.
We should get a measuring
Jeff
tape on you
meeting
and
these
actually
wrestlers.
Well, I
measure.
haven't measured for a while.
Because I know how tall men are when I stand next to them in my heels, and you're definitely over 6'4". You're
Well, you
at
met
least
Jeff
6'5" to 6'6".
Zenisek at the Tampa Cup. That guy is.
He's like 6'7" or something
But
like
aren't
that.
you guys
Yeah.
like the same? You look the same height.
No, he's taller.
He's a
than
little
me.
taller.
Really?
It's
Yeah,
from
he's
the
taller.
angle we're at. It's like looking
That's
at
why
a tree.
I'm wondering
You
if you're
can't get the
confusing
exact
me
inch.
with Jeff. That's why my mind
Jeff
is like, I
and
wonder if
Jeff.
she's thinking the other
No.
Jeff.
No, but wait, you said everyone's the same size and laying down. What's the shortest man you've ever dated?
There you go.
Shortest man I ever dated, I think, was 5'7".
Really?
But when? Were you like 14?
When you
I
were
was
laying
like
down.
18.
Yeah,
I was,
exactly.
I was
14,
this
so it's like,
tall
oh, okay.
when I was 14 too. I was
You were
humongous.
this tall at 14?
I actually just found a picture. Well, I'd show you. It's on my phone. That's dead
Oh,
forever.
yeah. Take dead.
Deceased.
Rest in
Rest in
peace.
peace.
Pour a little out.
But yeah.
Dope.
But yeah, no, I was always this tall. So standing next to all the guys in the 8th grade photo, and they like put me in the back, and I'm a whole head taller than everybody.
It's funny because at those ages, it does matter.
Yeah.
That's an age where you're like, ugh. And then I always tell like tall kids or anyone like tall girls or short boys or anyone that comes to like those kind of things where I see kids, I'm always like, hey, don't worry. It's all
Yeah.
going to work out.
Yeah.
Right now it sucks and it feels like your whole universe, but it's
Right.
going to get good.
Every year in school, they're like, Aaron's the shortest. Come on. We're going to get the tallest girl to stand next to him. I have so many years consecutively in a row where I'm standing next to some tall girl that I just happened to be in
but
class
now
with.
it doesn't matter was my point.
Yeah.
Is that like once you get older, you realize, oh, none of this crap
I don't know. I'm
matters.
still bitter about it.
You know what though? Guys that are like really, really confident, it
That's me.
doesn't matter with the height. Yeah, if you like really bring the confidence, you're like, I don't know, he's a little short,
Unless
but
you
I
bring
like him.
too much confidence.
Bring that
then
Napoleon
I'm like,
confidence.
Yeah.
Don't
The
bring that
Napoleon complex.
shit.
He was
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
confident.
Can you cuss on this?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hey, say whatever you like.
Okay.
Which also, I didn't start the way I normally do. I'm happy to have you here.
Happy to be here.
This is the Friendship Podcast, so I
Yes.
like to start how I know you and what I like about you.
Oh, okay.
The first time I ever met you was at Nashville Zanies,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and someone goes, Brooke Hogan is at this comedy show. And I go, are you kidding? She's like, yeah, she's with a football player also, and they're like right in the front. And I was like, really? And I like peeked out there and I was like, oh yeah. And then I had the sound guy put on your dad's music and I came out to it, and then I did the comedy show. And then afterwards you were so nice. And I remember like telling everyone like, dude, she's really nice too. And she was cool and whatever. But I was aware of you before that from the TV show, and then your music, and then also your dad is one of the greatest humans in the world, and you get to be his daughter, which is great. And then
I get to be.
you're
so cute.
Yeah, it's cool. But then also, every time I've met you since then, I've ran into you at a few things and a few places, and then also you came to my show in Tampa, and we become pals. But you've got a great attitude at all times. I haven't seen you be, even on the current show that you're on, which my buddy Chris Kowalski works on.
Okay.
Which he was on one of the first episodes of this.
Episode 2. You were referenced even as being an example of a really nice celebrity.
Yeah. And you're even on that, like, so, I don't know if positive is the right word, but just like,
You guys
chill.
are making me blush.
No, it's true. You seem so great at all times. You seem like level-headed and just nice to be around and pleasant.
No reason to be a bitch.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It makes me very happy. And that's why I was
thank
happy you were a no-brainer for us to have on here.
Aw, that's very nice of you. Yeah, you brought it up a couple times, and I was like, yeah, I should definitely go. But okay, so first time I met you, I remember being with the football player.
Yes.
And when we met, I was like, God, why am I with this guy? What the heck? I'm kidding. No, but it's funny because
He's
every
a
time I
listener
saw
of the
Jeff
show.
afterward, I'd have a couple drinks with me. I'd shamelessly hit on him and be like,
That
why
made
were
me
you
very
out
happy.
with me?
No, it made me very happy. That's one thing people don't talk about or I don't often talk about is how little game I have. In person, zero game. I just be myself and I'm friendly, and then like someone could be flirting with me and I'm always like,
you don't call it game because you're just being yourself.
yeah, but
And
it
that's
doesn't
what
work because they're like, I guess that guy doesn't like me. But I'm like, no, I'm very interested. I do. I just
Yeah, but you don't
do
text
it this
either,
way.
and you don't initiate hanging out. I'm not saying that you have to like me. I'm just saying that it's funny because every time I hang out with him, I'm like teasing him.
I
And then he's
texted
like,
you.
Want to
That's
come
not
on
true.
my friendship podcast? Bam, friend zone.
That is not. Yeah, actually,
This is Jeff Dye's friend zone.
oh, that's really funny. I did.
Is that why you don't fuck me, Jeff? Come on, man.
I put Sean
my
Waltman in the
God.
friend zone.
Yeah.
I put Andrew Slater in the friend zone. No, this isn't the friend zone podcast.
I'm just
But
saying
that's a
it's funny
funny
though.
title for it.
The friend zone podcast.
It's not like
Yeah,
that. It's
whenever
not
you're
like
with
that,
like a
bro.
dirty old lady like me, you're like, gonna put her in the friend zone.
You're younger than me. What are you talking about?
Probably not younger than you.
No, you're not. Or I mean, yes, you are. Is what I meant.
Like, excuse me.
Should we say our ages on here? I've said mine in every episode. I feel like I'm 35.
I'm 30.
Yeah, you're 5 years younger than me. Old lady.
But-
what a psychopath.
Old.
You call yourself
I mean,
old
sure,
at 30?
too old to
Look at
date
me with
Jeff.
technology. I'm like, I don't know
yeah.
how to drive around here.
Well, with your cell phone, you're like 50.
You made it though,
Yeah.
so
I did make it, and I
Something
think
proud of.
on time, but I wouldn't know because the time's on my phone. I
Yeah,
don't wear a
no,
watch.
That's true too.
plenty of
Yeah.
time.
Use a call box. Only old ladies know how to use those.
Oh my god! And then my friend. Oh my god, you're brutal. My friend was like, "Should I ask him what 01 is?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," because I don't know what that's gonna mean. Like
Oh yeah.
not unit 01
Right,
or.
right. Well, let's not talk about my address on the
Oh,
podcast.
sorry. Well, I only said
Just
01,
kidding. It's
but
all
I'm like,
fine.
what does that mean?
Yeah.
And then he said that you just wrote back 01.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
don't know. Again, I'm not that good at technology.
He's the worst.
Me
He's the worst.
messaging about all that stuff.
Yeah,
I
those
don't
were
know.
sent on accident. He was just putting it back in his pocket.
I like to just have
01.
fun. You know, like, let's go play wiffle ball. And everyone's like, where have you been all day? You had 3 auditions. You missed all of them. I was like, yeah, but Tony wanted to play wiffle ball.
That's all I want to
I
do.
don't know what wiffle ball is. Is that old as me or young
Baseball,
as
but
me?
you play in a park without mitts.
And it's
Oh.
only
Plastic.
plastic. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
plastic
Usually
bat.
kids
and a
play.
big plastic ball.
Oh, okay.
My niece and nephews love it.
Oh, okay.
And so
do you
do
hit
I.
the ball off the stick?
No tee. No,
Oh.
but you just throw it at each other and they hit it like that.
Oh, okay. That
Well, you
sounds
didn't
fun.
play sports growing up, huh?
I played like everything with my feet, like soccer. That's
Softball
it.
with your feet.
No.
Yeah, you know you run with this baseball and
Use your
softball stuff.
hands. She keeps not
I
doing
just pictured this like
What
ape
Paralympics
leg
did you-
coming up? Like,
Paralympics.
apes like use their
She's
feet.
spiking it with her feet. Everyone's like, Brooke, it's not how volleyball
Oh
is
my
played.
god! No, I mean it was just
Pretty
mostly like
impressive, huh?
dance and soccer though. And then I tried to do everything with my hands, like tennis and basketball, and I had like zero hand-eye coordination. So
What
that
was your thing as a kid? Were you like, I want to be a singer when I get older? Or like, what did you want to be?
I wanted to be a singing ice skater because I used to ice skate.
A double whammy, a double
You
threat,
don't see
Pictured
that.
the
You don't
Britney
see
Spears
that.
headphone. I
a
was like, I had it
cordless
all laid
mic, and
up.
she's whizzing around on the ice.
That'd
be amazing.
That's a hell of a concert.
I know, right? No, I actually wanted to be a dolphin trainer, and I still would be like a marine biologist if I didn't
So you could
get
be a
thrown into
singing
this.
dolphin trainer.
I could sing to the dolphins,
While being
and they could
pulled
sing back.
behind the dolphin. That'd be
You
amazing.
guys are making me ugly laugh right now. I gotta calm it down.
No, I think that's wait, I want to know what everyone says. Aaron, what did you want to be when you were very little? Well, not very little, but just growing up. What
A
did you want?
normal sized man, Jeff. I wanted to be a normal. I don't know what I wanted to be. It
You
was
didn't
always
tell
a tough
people-
one. Every time people would ask, I would make up some bullshit thing, and then years later they'd be like, "Didn't you say you wanted to be like a garbage man?" You're like, "Sure, I'll be a garbage man. I'll be a chef. I don't give a shit." Like it was just
You didn't care.
I didn't care. I care about what I did outside of work. I never care what I did for work.
Really?
Which is probably why I'm exactly where I'm at right now.
I've always known I
boy.
wanted to be a comedian. Like always. In fact, I used to do this thing. It's so embarrassing now, but I would open the door for all the students coming into the school in junior high. I don't know why I do this. I would just stand at the door and I just high five everyone as they came into school. And so like all the cool guys are like, who's this fucking loser who's like high fiving everyone? And then everyone else is just like, oh, that's a nice way to like they were
Yeah,
like they would
start
have
the day.
So I get about like 95% of people high fiving me, but I was just whatever. And there was a girl named Alyssa. I give her credit for this. Alyssa Irving. This is literally 7th grade. She goes, "You're gonna have your own show someday." And I was like, "Oh, really? What?" She's like, "Yeah, like it's already the Jeff Dye show by just being in a class with you because you're always trying to make everyone laugh, or you're always getting suspended going for a laugh or something like that." So I've always known I wanted to do like comedy. I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player, but it just wasn't good enough. And so I knew that wouldn't happen.
For some reason, I think I told you this. I didn't believe that Major League Baseball players or comedians got paid enough to make a living on it. I thought it was their hobby as a kid. I was like,
You're like,
these
I
guys
wonder
love baseball. They're
I
so
wonder
good
what this
at
guy
it.
does
That's
for
how
a
it used to be.
living.
Yeah, I know. How
That's
does
how
he
it
have
used
a
to be.
job
They
and
used to have
travel all the
like
time?
side jobs after the season.
Yeah, but not when Aaron was a kid. He'd
no,
have to
I
be
know,
like
I know.
80
Back
years
in like,
old.
Yeah, back in like the 30s. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I thought you'd go to the sandwich shop and Tony Gwynn's back there. You're like, oh my god, I'm gonna see you later.
That'd be awesome.
You're so good.
You're doing really great. Don't work too hard. Don't work too late at this deli.
Exactly.
So
Watch
you
out
were,
with the knives.
you were always outgoing and like,
Yeah.
really? Oh my
Yeah.
God, I was so shy in school.
Really?
If somebody like you talked to me, I would like cower.
What
I
age
wouldn't
did
know what
that
to
die?
do.
Well, that's weird because you're on TV
Yeah.
and you're
I don't know.
outgoing.
But when I'm not having to be on,
Yeah.
I'm like totally chill.
You're a chill. You're like an
Yeah.
introvert.
Oh yeah. Big
Really?
time. Yeah.
What do you, so like, what does that mean? Like, I don't think a lot of people are going to believe you that you're an introvert. So you like watching movies and like staying
Yeah,
in?
I love staying in. I'm not a big fan of crowds and stuff. When I find out that there's going to be a lot of people, like my brother's like, let's go to EDC. I'm like, oh no. Oh my God, no.
The most popular.
I know. He's like, it's so much
There's
fun.
a
I'm like,
reason
that
they're all
doesn't
on
sound fun.
drugs.
Yeah, like I'm more like wine bar with like 5 people in it and like smooth jazz playing and twinkle
Nice.
lights, like
Yeah.
hidden away. Yeah.
Wait, what kind of movies are you watching late at night by yourself?
Not scary ones because honestly, I get really, I watch alien documentaries actually.
But that's scary.
Oh, we love
But
alien
not to me because
documentaries.
I want to be nice to the aliens. So I think, like, I'm not afraid of them. Even if they were to come and like take me and probe me or whatever, I'd be like, it's a great way to go out.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So you're not afraid of being abducted by aliens,
No.
but you won't watch a knowingly fake like monster horror film.
Oh my God. No, I think the scariest, you know what scared me? There was a Christmas movie called Krampus that came
Yes.
out.
Yep.
That terrified me. I tried watching it and I was like, oh my God.
Future guest David Koechner is on that movie. He's
Oh.
great. Yeah. David Koechner, you know, from Anchorman?
Uh-huh.
He's the guy that
I know
plays
the movie
the dad on
Anchorman.
Krampus.
Oh, okay.
But he's in Anchorman, he's Champ. He wears like a cowboy
the
hat.
sports
and stuff.
guy.
Yeah, but he's in Krampus.
He says, what does he say? Whoopee
Whammy.
or whammy.
Whammy.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Whoopee.
He's awesome. He's a very funny comedian too.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Krampus is one of my favorite things. So when they made that movie, I was like so excited because
Oh.
Krampus is like 1,000 years old.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's
What,
like
didn't Tim Burton do that movie
No.
or something? Or am I crazy?
what's the
That's
guy's
the guy
name?
from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, but what's his name?
I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, I can't
feel
remember
bad
either.
about that.
But we
It was
know.
crazy though.
Yeah, I did the Halloween Horror Nights Krampus Maze when it was in Horror Nights 2 years
How did I
ago.
not ever know about Krampus? Probably because my parents were like, it'll scare the shit out of her. Don't show it to
Well,
her.
it was like
Don't ruin
a
Christmas.
It's like it's Nordic.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like so. This is one of my favorite things about Krampus. Why I've like loved it my whole life is that
my God.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, you didn't realize this the whole time?
For those listening,
Oh my
for
God.
those listening,
Brooke
she
just
just
noticed all
noticed
the-
No wonder you don't want to go out
wrestling
with me.
What are you
Hulk
talking
Hogan
about?
stuff over
crap.
Jeff's shoulder.
And it's
cool.
signed?
That one is
Yeah.
yeah. My buddy Sean got me that.
What?
That's cool, huh?
Are you shitting me?
It's awesome, right?
That's crazy.
This is
Wow.
all of them though, not just your dad.
You
but your
have,
dad was
like-
like
Yeah,
the main
he's
guy.
front and center.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. Thank
Just
God we
chilling.
didn't talk about your
I think it's like
address.
hundreds of dollars.
Oh my gosh, no. This is like
Yeah.
serious. I'm going to have to
Yeah, in
get you
20
some
years,
stuff
this
in
is
the
going to be
beach
worth
shop.
dozens of dollars.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you really liked wrestling.
Yeah, I still do. We love wrestling.
Really?
It's
we were
fun.
wrestling
It's just a big
obsessed.
part of my childhood.
I don't really watch wrestling anymore, though. I feel like I miss the capes
Did
and the
you
glitter
ever?
and the craziness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I would cry when I'd see my dad bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, try to go through the
I
TV.
cried when I saw your dad bleeding.
Not
I
me. I was like, this is awesome.
But I saw
Yeah,
when we
exactly.
when we went to that WrestleMania. We didn't go together, but we were at WrestleMania
Yeah,
in
in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Man, your dad was bleeding that match. I was like, this is enough.
He's a
Yeah.
gusher. Yeah, I'd be like,
So
"Daddy,
you
what is
didn't
it?"
like watching the matches, but did you watch a lot of them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite times I think I've ever seen my dad wrestle was like the last time he was at WWE. He came back out with the NWO, like Scott Hall
nice.
and Kevin Nash. And he had like 9 back surgeries. And we were like, please don't wrestle. Please don't do anything. But inside, I'm kind of like, do something.
Yeah.
And he took a bump from somebody. I don't know. Somebody hit him on the back of the head and he like actually dive rolled. And I was like, oh my God, he's alive.
Yeah. He's back.
Yeah.
Still got it.
That's so funny.
Who do you like better, Good Hulk or Bad Hulk?
Bad Hulk.
You like Bad
Oh
Hulk
my
better?
God. Yeah.
Well, it
Oh my
does
God.
match that he's always, your dad like is into the music and the rock and roll and like Harley bikes and shit. That's NWO Hogan.
Yeah. And it was cool to like see him be bad and all the trash getting thrown into the ring and spray painting people's faces or whatever he would do.
Yeah, I always wondered what they felt about that. Like, oh, we got to get the spray paint on. We got to get the spray paint tonight. And it's
Oh,
like,
the person that was like,
yeah,
laying,
he's like,
that's
oh, man,
cool though.
my hair.
I think
I'll
it's
tell you
cool.
what the worst was when they would whip each other with the belt,
Oh
the
yeah.
weightlifting belt that he would wear. Like people think, oh yeah, wrestling's fake. Yeah, maybe the storyline, but they're bumps and bruises. I
Oh,
did wrestling
yeah.
school for a day and I had a concussion. Like
You
it's
only
serious
lasted-
shit.
how long did you do the
It's-
school though?
One day. I
You
was like,
left
I'm
the first day?
done. Oh my God. Yeah, I
Really?
had bruises from taking bumps, but I also think that somebody was like messing with me. It was Bubba Ray Dudley. And he was like, I was at his school and he made me take 50 bumps and 50 dive rolls.
Oh, yeah. So he's
Which
being
is
how many
like
tables?
unheard of for like
But don't-
first day.
But that is like famous of like all the stories you hear of like when Ric Flair like wanted to quit and they were just making it harder on him on purpose.
Yeah, because I was Hogan's daughter. They were
Or
like, we're going
Bret
to beat your
Hart's
ass.
dad
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. Yeah, they were like hazing in a way.
Well, oh, but the belt. Those whips, I mean, my dad would come back with raised, it looked like
yeah.
Django or something. Like it just was like raised bumps on his back that were like lifted and swollen. It was gross.
But to this day, how much of it really scarred? I know that it lifted and hurt him at the time.
It does no scars on his back from that, but he's got 2 holes in his biceps from catching Macho Man off the top of,
Oh my
of
gosh.
the steel cage because he was supposed to catch him closer to his body. But he put his arms out too far and it tore his biceps. He's got a torn lat from lifting Andre,
Unbelievable.
a hole in his lat. So yeah, he's all. His
Well,
back
I've
looks like,
said this a lot of times, not on the podcast. I think it's funny that we're all on board with wrestling being, like choreographed, predetermined. Some say fake or whatever, but like, for lack of a better word, I'll say fake. However, there are certain things they've committed to being real that we're like, why? I don't need you to really hit each other with a chair. And like, that part's real. You're like, but don't. I don't need you to hurt
I've
each other.
I've
I
accepted
get
it.
that it's
I
fake.
think that they
I don't
like
need you
it,
to
though.
really whip each other with a weightlifting belt or chop each other on the chest and go woo, and they're like, look, it's getting welted. Why? I don't want you
I
guys to
think
be hurt.
it's a sick thing with them. I think they actually, there's like the part of that
This
manliness
ego,
that
yeah,
they're like, oh, hit me. You know? That got a little weird.
Yeah, they're into it. Like, you call that a chop?
Pull my hair. What?
Pull my hair.
Whoa, Brooke took off in that podcast.
What is?
Okay.
So you have no interest in being a wrestler?
I wouldn't say no interest,
Yeah.
but I just have to find the time, I think, if I really wanted to go for
You
it.
would crush these girls.
Well, physically, like with no training, yes, because they're all tiny.
Yeah, and Charlotte Flair is like the biggest of all, like size wise.
Yeah.
And they've made her just the champ the entire time. And also, like with her, another part of it is that her dad is like wrestling royalty.
Yeah.
Her dad is third place in wrestling royalty compared to your dad.
I know. Everybody's
and
like,
you're
you should do
stronger than her. I mean,
Yes.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, I gotta
He
think about it.
says this when you're not around too. He's like, why
do.
isn't
Yeah,
Brooke just throwing around Charlotte Flair?
I'm telling you, you would crush these girls, and it would be fun to watch. I'd be like, yeah, I rooted for her dad, now I'm rooting for her.
Yeah.
Let's run through this Charlotte, the Flair family. I'm always like, it would be so great.
And they talk about they got the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah.
I want to see the female NWO.
Well, and
Oh yeah.
see.
Oh my god, that would be so fun.
Ronda
The new Woman
Rousey's
Order?
stealing Piper's whole gimmick.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Not
and
a
then you
fan.
got Charlotte wearing the robes. You got Natty doing the I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever be. You wearing red and yellow or the black and white would be
Yeah.
like incredible.
I asked a few people in the business like what it would take, and they're like, you need
1 year.
a year. Yeah. So
But 1 year's the easiest commitment ever.
It is.
Guess if I,
think
want to
if
be a
I do
wrestler.
it, instead of going
10
to bar
years and then say no.
Yeah.
It's true.
So what is
You
1
could
year?
do it. You could be my manager and come out with the
Well, that
megaphone.
I'm open to, but like the idea of like wrestling, they would say no. Like look at him, and like he would have to like I would have to like get big, and I have to learn how to do all this crap. But like you'd be killer at it. I'm pushing for that.
Okay.
Just let that be known.
I'm signing on.
But
board
let's
with
hear
that,
about this. I want to hear about you growing up. Did you hate wrestling? Some people, if their dad was in wrestling, they look like, ugh. Did it make him away all the time, or did it make your life more wealthy or more important? Like, what was it like?
He actually did a great job at balancing coming home. Like we saw him most days a week, and he would
That's
always
great.
come back home. Living in Florida helped a lot because a lot of the towns were on the East Coast, so he could just like fly back on Delta real quick and spend a day with us or whatever. We lived in a pretty modest home when I was a kid. And then Hulkamania really hit and started getting rocking and the merchandise and stuff. And then it was like going from a 3,000 square foot house to an 18,000 square foot house
Yeah.
overnight. And it was like, whoa, dad's making some bank. You know, he was so into like cars and boats and all kinds of stuff. Total guy's guy. What else did you ask me? I don't know.
Well, just the idea that you did it perfect.
Oh,
I
if
just
I
wanted
liked
to
it or
know,
didn't
like,
like it?
well, some people like say they're like,
Now
oh,
I
he was
don't
never
like it.
around, and I never got to see my dad. Wrestling was his real love, and it was his
No,
real
he's-
wife.
His
and,
family was his love, and
Oh,
he was a
that's
great
great to
dad.
hear.
Yeah. But as far as watching wrestling, it was so much fun with like Mean Gene and Bobby the Brain Heenan and all the music and the costumes and stuff. And now I feel like it's just noise in the background. And even when my dad is watching it and I'm home, I'm like, will you please shut it off? I would rather
Really?
watch Jerry Springer. Like, it's so noisy. So
what's too noisy?
it's just like the guys that talk now, they don't even have character-y voices. Like a guy will just come on there and talk with his regular
Yeah.
voice and go on forever and be like,
Tell me
I'll
about
tell you.
the reality of it now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like they've pulled the curtain back a little
Right.
bit.
It's very like,
so it's not
normal.
the character
Yeah.
as much.
I blame
as, like,
UFC for that. Because like
That's
when
a part of
UFC
it.
started getting huge,
That's part of it.
Vince was like, "Well, how can we make this seem like this is all, I don't know this what he said, but in my mind I think that he was like, well, we need to compete with that." So like, because guys used to be like, Tatanka was an Indian, and then Sergeant Slaughter was a general
Yeah.
or whatever, and then everyone had like Big Boss Man was a cop, like everything
Right.
was a shtick.
Character, yeah.
Doink the Clown, and then the Dead Wizard Undertaker, like
They're
everyone
all
had a
village
thing.
people.
yeah,
And Macho Man was just a crazy person. But what was
a crazy person.
but what's fun about that was like you knew what you were getting. Like even if you don't like the tax man, the IRS is there being a tax
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
But like then it turned into like guys just had regular names. You know, like oh it's Randy Orton versus.
just their name.
Yeah, but it's
Just
almost
the
the
guy.
attitude. We made Steve Austin a real person and The Rock a real
But I'm
person.
talking about after this, even
Yeah.
after that.
But
I'm
like,
saying,
I don't
but that's
know
a
any
big
of the
turning
people
point.
now.
No, Stone Cold was like a thing, and then Rocky Maivia was like in this like.
But they were
Black
borderline. It was only
Panthers
kind
group.
of a thing. They like shrunk it down.
Yeah.
And from there, they're like, well, I guess this is the direction we're heading.
Well, I feel like there was a specific year, and I don't know what year it was, but like whatever year where I popped in, and the guys had no gimmick. It was like just undies, like in UFC, with like knee pads,
Right.
and on regular name, like John Morrissey, and you're like, what? What's his thing? And they're like, oh, he doesn't need a thing. He's cool.
Yeah,
and I was like,
he's
what?
cool.
And then he's wrestling another guy, and I was like, who's Randy
wrestling?
Orton? Like, what's his thing? And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, he has no thing. His dad was a thing. He was a cowboy, but he is just a guy. And you're like, well, I don't understand.
Right, and you look at the characters and like there's not much difference between Like, what's the difference between like a Seth Rollins and a Finn Balor? Like, what's their character
A
difference?
demon?
Nothing.
Well, can he do that? Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, it's like they're just
That's why I
they're
love
both
when he does that.
just
Guys.
good guys who are good in the ring, and it's
Yeah.
like that's what it's about now, as
Right.
opposed to
It's changed.
These larger than life.
I have a question.
Characters.
How did you guys meet? Because you guys seem like really fun and funny together.
We've been best pals for a long time, and then, or not a long time, but
Like 4 or 5 years now.
yeah, 4 or 5 years. But
He's
then
like,
also,
excuse me.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
well, I've known him for like a decade.
Okay.
Brooke's episode.
Yeah. Can I talk to you outside for a minute? And then grew up in the same town as Tony, and I went to school with like his brothers and cousins and stuff.
Okay.
And then he started like, he came to like a comedy show. I saw him at like a Seahawks bar and stuff like that. And then we just decided to start doing this together. So we've gotten real close.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's been good.
You guys are like super bros. Like I like the chemistry going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
Well, thank
bros.
Yeah, we eat
I like
beef jerky
Super
and smoke
Brothers.
cigars. And
I like how guys interact though. Like I guess having a brother always made me like guy humor more, or hang around dudes. I didn't really
That's
have a bunch of
interesting.
like girlfriends.
Did he hang out with your friends or did you hang out with his friends?
My brother has a huge crush on one of my friends currently right now.
Even still? Or no, just now,
yeah,
recently?
like for the past 10 years, he's had a
Oh
huge crush
my
on her.
gosh.
Yeah.
And you haven't set that up? Or she's just not interested? Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, there you go. Nice.
okay.
There's a camera for
Yeah,
that.
no, but not everyone
Just
can see
saying.
that.
No,
Just
sure.
Yeah,
Just-
if you pay for the Patreon, you know what just happened.
well, then that's great.
No, it's good though because I'm like, dude, I vetted her out the last 10 years. She's definitely awesome.
Talk about a slow roll.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a slow burn right there.
He's like, I haven't had a crush on her for like 7 years. You're like, yeah, but I'm wearing her down.
Yeah.
So you better start liking her,
Wearing
Nick.
her down.
That's amazing. How's your relationship with your brother? You
Good.
guys, yeah, that sounds
oh, yeah.
great.
We never
you're
really
wingmanning
fought.
him for
Yeah. Oh my god. What? I wasn't gangbanging. What did
You
you
were
say?
wingmanning him. You're his wingman.
I swear to God, I thought he said you were gangbanging him.
No.
Sorry.
I would never presume or hope.
Oh boy.
Okay. I'm a little like off since my phone is going crazy, I guess. No, but my brother and I never argued. I know he's like, this girl is crazy.
That's not how we talk, Brooke. We're respectful.
I'm such a
For
goofball.
Aaron to say that to anyone, this guy's capable of
False,
some
yeah.
horrific
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
the heel of the room. So
Okay.
I'm gonna turn on you for
Okay,
that.
I like
Yeah.
your wrestling lingo.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, brother's awesome. He's funny. Your humor kind of like reminds me of his humor.
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
and we always got along, so I was lucky for that. And he's kind of like my older brother. Like
Yeah.
I FaceTimed him. I'm like, Nick, my phone. He's like, what you need to do is map quest it and write it down on a piece of paper, and you will be okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So he's the cooler head.
yeah.
If he
he's
was actually
protective,
cool,
yeah.
he would have just given you his phone. I'm
He
throwing
has
it out
2
there.
phones, but he's actually somewhere here in the
more,
valley.
twice as much.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like
you're
somewhere
watching,
working
Nick.
though. Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Tell us about the show that you're on now.
You have to keep thinking of questions. That's a lot
No,
of
I
work.
don't.
No, it's
I
just
could ask
coming
you a
to you
million things. This is
naturally?
what would
Yeah?
happen if we were
Okay.
just hanging
He
out.
didn't
Okay.
prepare. He just
Yeah,
got.
I don't have notes.
Yeah.
Look,
You're gonna have nothing to talk
this
about
is
on
a-
our date now.
no, I'll ask other stuff.
The show that I'm on now. Oh my god. I actually said no the first time they asked me because I was
Okay.
like, I don't know if I want to do like a competition kind of show thing. Then they came around, they asked me again. They said it's for charity and like you can do any charity you want.
I would
and
have said extra no.
Huh?
Yeah, I'd have been like, wait,
Extra
I don't
no.
get paid?
Yeah, I get a job and I
Extra
don't
no.
get paid. Get out of
Well,
town.
no, like they pay you, but at the same time, they're like, you'll get paid,
Goddamn
which
right.
is pretty badass. And then we'll also give this much money to your charity. And I was like, that's a pretty sweet deal because I'm
Yeah.
like a big animal lover. And I'm like, if I could go give like 50 grand to my favorite charity, that'd be sweet.
What's your favorite animal charity?
PETA?
Oh,
What's
it's
your
for
favorite
people.
animal?
Good.
Yeah. So what's my favorite animal?
Yes.
Well, I love dogs, but I would say like dolphins, maybe.
Dolphins,
Dolphins.
sure.
Have you
Yeah.
seen The Cove?
No, I can't even because I heard there was
Jeff.
dolphin slaughter.
Exactly.
No, but it's what I like to compare
Right,
it
is
to
that
like
a terrible thing for him to say
Exactly.
if I love
Oh, that's your
dolphins?
favorite? Have you seen them get murdered in mass numbers?
No, I
well,
heard
because it
about
makes you
it.
care and then say, I've got to do something about this.
Oh
and
my
if
gosh.
you already love dolphins as much as you do, you would watch that and go, I'm going to help. And
Yeah,
that,
but
like,
I already know
she
that it
already
happens.
cares.
I don't need the
Yeah.
visual.
Well, no, there's only
I saw a picture of the
visual
whole
at the
cove
end.
all bloody, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is what's happening."
Kind of
No, they
dolphin
do that to
snuff film
sharks
is
too.
this?
Like for
Yeah,
shark fin
it's hot.
soup, they'll cut the fin off the shark, and then they'll just let the shark drown because it
Yeah.
can't like
Ugh.
swim without its dorsal fin. It's all messed up.
Ugh.
Anyways, back onto the happier
Yeah.
topics.
Yeah.
So I said yes. Didn't really know what I was walking into. I YouTubed some of the challenges. And I was like, okay,
You have to
it's
swim
like
through the cove.
Kill 5 of these
oh my
dolphins.
God, I would
And
save
Chris
all of
Kowalski
them.
wrote it.
I'd be like, cut my fin off first.
You have a
So
fin?
yeah, no. So what?
Well, you just said you have a fin.
It's hidden.
A hidden fin. A hidden Brooke Hogan fin.
That just reminded me of Shallow Hal when he's got the piggy tail on his butt.
Oh my gosh.
Weird
It's
visual.
so gross.
So gross.
I met a dude who's a comedian who claims he had a tail, and I was like, I'm not falling for this. I don't care. I don't care enough to ask you to see it, but I think that's what the road he was going down. He's like, yeah, my spine's too long, and I have like a little.
I've
little-
heard that
And I was
happens.
like, bro, please don't tell me
Wait.
this. Like, I don't want to.
Can we name the comedian?
I don't remember the comedian. Was that like an open mic in Burbank like 10 years
Oh,
ago, maybe
man.
12 years ago?
He's probably still at that open mic today in
Oh,
Burbank.
yeah, it's the same
Absolutely.
guy. I'm going to go in and go, hey, wait a minute.
If he really had
you're
a
the
tail,
guy.
Yeah, if he really had a tail, he'd be in a circus right now or something. He'd make
Really?
it work. Well, I mean, if the comedy thing wasn't working out,
We should
he'd
go
find
when
a
we're
way.
done with this. If you can have a tail, if it's real, it might be a
I'm
myth.
sure it is.
What if
We'll
women have
use
tails
Brooke's
too?
phone.
You never know.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, yeah, good one.
I'm not Googling women's tail.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a lot of
I'm
stuff
going to
coming
Google
up,
man's
but-
tail and deeply regret it. So, is that a thing you can Google without regret?
Man
Probably
with
not.
tail.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get
Probably
weird
not.
on Google. If you look back in my Google search, you're like,
yeah.
what? How does her brain?
We've all spiraled.
Do ducks have teeth?
That's true. No person should be judged on their search
Yeah.
history.
Me and this guy watched like a video of like he showed me this great thing. It was magicians showing tricks to monkeys at the zoo,
Oh,
and the
the
monkeys
best.
like minds
I've
are like
seen that.
blown, you know, because
Yeah.
they're too
They're
dumb
like-
to understand magic.
yeah.
They don't know deception.
Jeff,
They
what
don't-
if they just have a suspension of disbelief
no,
beyond
they're
humans?
sweethearts, and they don't know what dishonesty is. Like,
I just don't want to call
he made
monkeys
it
stupid.
disappear. You can't, like, horrible on the card tricks though. They don't seem to care for those.
They're like,
Is this
yeah.
your card? They're
Like,
just
look, it's a jack of hearts, and he's like,
I don't know what that is.
I'm a monkey. I don't know.
Have you seen those elephants that paint?
Yeah.
Oh.
We did an episode of Better Than Ever where we went and painted
Oh my
with
god,
the.
I
with
want to
the-
see those so bad, and I want to play with a baby elephant. That's bucket list.
There you go.
What's on your bucket list?
Um.
By the way, I have pictures of men with tails now.
Oh,
if y'all
no.
wanna see.
Let's see.
Yeah,
this.
it's horrific.
ugh.
Wait, no.
Reaction.
Yeah, look at those older pictures though. Yeah, those
Oh
top ones
my
are
God.
possibly photoshopped, and then there's like these ones from like 1800.
1800.
How
Yeah,
did they get those pictures? They didn't have
because
cameras.
if you have a tail, you will find a photographer willing to take a
This
picture
They
of
didn't
it.
have cameras
be-
back then.
They did. P.D.
What?
Barnum
Okay,
did.
I can't even.
Right?
I can't even.
All right, wait, but you were
That's,
telling
like,
us
really
about, we
creepy.
spiraled.
We keep
Tell
spiraling.
us
Yeah, the
about
internet destroyed.
Oh no!
Exactly.
Tell us about the show that
good.
you're on. You said you originally didn't want to do
Yeah,
it.
so then I finally did it, and I thought, okay, I have to get into physical shape, no big deal. Then my dad started getting in my head. He's like, don't knock your teeth out, you know, like be careful, don't like break a leg or something. Surprisingly, somebody actually broke a leg on one of the
no.
challenges.
Yikes.
And I quit, and I got so much shit for it. And I was like, look, though, it's not safe. She broke her leg, she broke her nose.
Yeah.
Oh, good
So,
call.
but anyway, it was really fun. It was like one of those things.
Workman's comp.
He's an expert at work.
Yeah, I broke my finger last year.
It's one of
Nice.
those things that's like, I didn't think it was going to, like, it was added to my bucket list after I finished doing it. It was like when people say they're going to go base jumping or do something like
Yeah.
that. Once I was done with it, I was like, I'm really glad I did it, because when you're a kid, you'll go jump off the monkey bars or, you know, the
Oh,
jungle
yeah.
gym and break
Yeah.
your arm. Or
no
when you're
big
an
deal.
adult, you care. You're like, I don't want to hurt my knees.
You're 100%
or
right.
Yeah.
You're
That's
scared.
why I don't snowboard. Because when
I don't like the snow.
yeah.
Period. But I don't
When
like
I was a
skiing
kid,
or snowboarding
if I
either.
broke my leg, my mom took me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I got a
You
cast
had
and
a
all the
cool
kids
cast,
thought
yeah.
I was cool.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
sign it.
Nowadays, if I break my leg, they take away my house. I gained 40 pounds. Like I can't do that.
Yeah, but you also get a
Take
lot
away
of
my
pills.
house.
No, I don't want pills. That's a temptation I don't want to deal with either.
No.
It's like, these are great. I feel so fuzzy and don't have feelings. Like I don't.
Don't have feelings.
It's a hazard.
I don't
That
remember
was
2 months of
something
last year.
I liked about you when I met you. I could tell you were like not a typical Hollywoody kind of
Thank you.
druggy person, which I really like. It's hard to find people that are.
Oh man,
Normal
I've hung out
in
with
this
so many
industry.
girls like where like I'm hanging out for like 2 dates and it seems great, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, do you do blow?" And I was like, "No," and then all of a sudden they're like, "Really?" I was like, "No." In fact, just that you're mentioning it is giving me like sweats. That I'm like, "Oh,
my God.
should I?"
I got offered meth at a party the other day.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I went to some music producer, and they were like, "Hey, there's a party up in the Hollywood
Oh,
Hills,
name, please?
beautiful house."
I'm just kidding.
And
Don't.
some 21-year-old kid that was like living at the house or something was like, "Hey, you know," and they handed me a beer when I walked in. It was supposed to be an industry party. It ended up looking more like a frat thing.
Right.
And I was
There was
holding
like
this
one
beer.
person from industry, and they're like,
And
you
they're
doing in my house?
like, "Can we get you something else or whatever?" And I said, "Oh, I think I might switch to the hard stuff, meaning like vodka or
Right.
maybe wine or something, like not a beer." And they're like, "Oh, what do you need? You want Coke or like some meth? We got it."
Oh,
I was like, "Are you serious? You have meth here in the house?" I'm flattered, but
Yeah, we
also
make
no
it.
thank you. I'm terrified. And I want to go home and call my mom.
"Oh, that's so weird."
Yeah, it's so
Unbelievable.
weird.
I had a
So-
guy trap me in a bathroom. He seemed like just a sweet dude, and he was smaller than me. So it was like a worst case scenario. Like, but everyone like is like, "Why are you going in there?" He's like, "He told me to come in here." It's like, "Yeah, but that's not. Use your better judgment. Don't go into like a bathroom with a dude." And I was like, "I don't know.
Well, first,
I don't
go
want him
into
to
a
be."
bathroom with a dude.
Yeah,
but also,
but in my mind, I was like, I
him.
don't know. I don't. It wasn't like a private bathroom. It was like there
like
was like a lot of
stalls.
sinks
Okay.
and stuff. So I was like, what? It's fine. Like I
Yeah,
didn't want to
yeah.
make this guy uncomfortable. Like, hey man, I'm not going to a bathroom with you.
Right.
But he was like, come on. And then when I got in there, he's like trying to get me to do like these little bags. It's cocaine, but I had never seen it before. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, come on, and he's like putting out a thing. And then I like
It hit you.
almost like in the Bible time. I ran. I broke out the door and I like just left
Oh my
the whole
God.
bar. Like
What do you mean in the Bible? There's no cocaine in the Bible.
No, there's a story of like a man being tempted by this beautiful woman, and so he just flees.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And even though he looked like kind of like a child or something, that's the only way he knew how to get out of this
Yeah,
situation is to just
Wow.
run. And that's what I
Run.
did. It was so embarrassing. And all my friends were like, did you leave? And I was like, I'm sorry. A guy offered me Coke. And I'm just like, it's all new to me. Because I was from Seattle and like long hair. And it's kind of like, I didn't know people did this stuff. It's like
In
very.
real life, you think it's in movies, and then you see it, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah.
my God, I'm at one of those parties." And then I start getting scared because I'm like,
One of those meth
I don't wanna
parties.
I don't want to be seen here. I don't want people to think I do it. You know. So,
When I was in Seattle, I would get a laugh all the time, not on stage, but just with my buddies about Coke. So I would reference it and it'd make people think I was funny. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'd love to hang out, guys, but I'm gonna go do some Coke in my car. And my friend's like, isn't Jeff funny? But if you do those jokes in LA,
people believe you.
everyone's like, oh, he's going to get Coke.
Yeah,
with
it's
you.
like not a big deal. Yeah.
We're so
bathroom
bad.
in your
Like, yeah,
car?
they just think I'm
crazy.
a loser that does drugs.
And so you brought something up. I feel like I'm interviewing you too, but now I'm interested. You said something about the Bible. I'm guessing that you were raised with faith. Sort of.
My parents were like agnostic.
faith?
Okay.
And so then the nicest kids at our school,
Yes,
like,
with faith.
Yeah, that's
faith
like-
in something.
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's an actual term.
Yeah.
That's how little
I know,
he
it's
knows.
a
Great way to put it.
He's such a heathen that he's like,
That was the
What?
best. That was the best way to put it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That made it sound like code. Like when they have like the AA, like you friends with Tom or whatever. It's like, were you raised with faith?
No, that's an
Were you
actual
raised-
term.
That's
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm also
It'd be like if earlier
poking
she's
at it.
like, he called the bad guy a heel. You're like, no, that's the exact term.
All right, I'm sorry. Go on
Yeah,
with
it's
faith.
okay. You're just such a
Moving on.
heathen. You
Yeah.
have no
How
idea
dare
what
you.
like church
I was
talk
raised Mormon.
was.
We have
Yeah.
all different kinds of names and rules and things.
Your mom's taught you wrong.
Yeah, that's for sure. My brothers and sisters, thank you.
So my parents were agnostic, and so they hated church, which made me a little more drawn to it. I was rebelling by getting into
Right.
Bible.
Backwards, yeah.
Yeah, strange. But also
Kirk Cameron bullshit.
the nicest guys at our school, the nicest kids at our school were like Young Life people and like youth group people.
Okay.
And also we had no money, and my parents were like, I'm not signing you up for ski camp or anything like that.
Yeah.
But then the church kids would be like, yeah, well, we'll pay for it. Like, as long as you want it. Like, so
Yeah.
there was always food. There was always games, always
Right.
like these things to do. And so because of that, I was always in it. But then also I loved it. It was great.
Very nice.
And then I became a Young Life leader after high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Okay.
loved it. I still keep in touch with a lot of those guys.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, there's like a wholesomeness to you. That I'm
Oh,
like,
thanks.
it's so you don't see it. So it reminded me of, have you been on any dating site at all? Have you tried it?
Once for a very short period of time.
Mhm.
And I stopped doing it because I started dating a girl.
Mhm.
And then I never went back
Right.
because I hated it. I think
Yeah.
it's awful. It was on Raya.
Okay, somebody
the one.
convinced me to try Bumble.
Okay.
And I was on it for a very short period of time, but I had a very interesting experience. I met all within like 3 dates, a flat earther. Somebody that was like,
no.
I don't believe in God, I don't believe in marriage, I don't want to have kids, and I believe the earth is flat.
Yeah.
Somebody that just left Mormonism like 2 days before our date.
We weren't going to talk about this, bro.
Yeah.
Aaron,
Yeah. and somebody that openly discussed the STDs that they had, and I was like,
Oh, no.
wow, these are really interesting people.
To be fair for that person, better than
good for that person.
Than
Yeah,
not keep
but what
that
a
secret.
horrible commercial
true,
for
but
Bumble.
like,
Sure,
but
sure.
seriously, like, just to bring that up, like,
That guy's like,
But
come
could
on, you
you
have
t-
0 STDs? Get out of town.
You bring
First
that
I
up
was
in the
like-
chat, so we don't even have to meet.
or something. I don't know. I heard that there's special websites for that though.
I'm sure
Yeah,
there is.
you
I'm
can
sure.
go, I got this, you got this, let's
Perfect.
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of
Call
feel a
Who
little
Gives a
shell
Fuck.
shocked still
Can't
being
get
here
it
in
twice.
LA. So between coke, meth, flat earthers, all these
Yeah.
different things, I
Wait,
was
you met
like,
these people face to face? Like,
Yeah,
that
oh,
was
yeah.
like, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is flat earthers, I didn't even know that was a real thing.
it is interesting.
It's insane.
I looked it up, but it is
It's
insane.
very funny.
They believe that instead of the Earth being like round, that when you travel around the Earth, you're really actually going like on a dinner plate.
Like on the rim
like a
of,
disc.
they're stupid. They're stupid
it's
idiots.
so stupid. I'm like, so you mean to tell me that out of all the round Earths that are, round rocks that are floating around
Yeah.
in space, we're the only CD?
It's preposterous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And what's most strange is you're talking to a guy who will defend tooth and nail Bigfoot, extraterrestrials,
Me too.
time travel, black holes.
Yeah, but that stuff makes
extra
sense.
dimensions.
Yeah.
I believe in all that.
No, me too.
And I gave the flat earther thing like a good shake. They're like, here's their arguments. And I
Yeah.
went and I looked at and I was like, this is fuckery. That's like the only way to describe it is like
Yeah.
buffoonery. It
No,
is
because
so.
I'll go and research all that stuff because I am into it. I'm into like
Yeah.
the Pleiadians and the Greys and the you know all these
Zeta
different things.
reticulans, lizard
Yes,
people,
Zeta
shapeshift,
reticulans.
all that.
Yes, exactly, and all of the different dimensions.
Yeah.
And, different vibrations and all these things. I'm into it. I actually just bought a NASA book today too. That I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna crack into this thing, but
I have a gift for you before you leave. The patch.
Oh, yeah.
really,
Yeah.
a NASA patch.
Oh, you're going to love this
Love it.
patch.
But it's
Really?
better. It's better.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
But
Wait,
what was I
what
going
is
to say?
the book about?
But flat earthers, it
Yeah,
does
yeah.
not make that doesn't.
It's so
it did not ring true.
so silly.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, we were talking about dating apps. Have you, Tony? You don't have a girlfriend, but you're also not dating on any dating apps. Why have
Damn
you?
right.
Why have you chosen to fight that?
It's
Fight
just,
this
it's
trend.
it's so shallow, right? Where it's like just like swiping left or right, like just on like
No, that's one of them. That's not all of them. There's still Match. One of my buddies, met his wife on Match.com. There's
Yeah.
other like dating apps.
no, I don't know. That's like too much work.
Okay.
And then it's like the apps. It's like like when I look at like my friend's app, he's like, "Oh, I'm doing this." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like.
It
It's
is.
either like you're swiping left real hard because you're like no,
Right.
or you're like swiping right real hard. But then I'm like, I'm not taking that girl home to my mom.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like,
No app is saying they're going to give you a girl to take home to your mom.
Well, I'm just saying. But I mean, I don't know. That's why I would.
I like
be
them
on
'cause
that.
they're
That's why I
shallow.
would be on one of those apps.
I like them because they're shallow.
Wait, so
I take the full golf swing.
are you
swipe
on any
left or
dating
right.
apps, Aaron?
I
Yes.
have downloaded them recently again, purely for self-esteem, because I've never met a person on any of these apps.
Okay. Which is why I stopped using them.
Yeah, I've
So the little time
yeah,
that I
I've
was
never had a
on.
good conversation on it. I'll try it, and like, there's
Yeah.
no good conversation to be had there because it feels like an interview, and you're like, what? That's not how people connect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I do like in the middle of the day, I'm like, someone likes you. You're like, someone likes me.
The little, yeah. The
then
little
you're like-
Someone likes you.
Yeah, that's all I want. I just want
Which
a thing that
is-
says that.
That's
just gonna
so
text
we've
you
talked
randomly
about this
and
in
say that.
I would love it.
we've talked about this in private is that the reason I got off it and the reason I didn't enjoy it is because I felt like all these girls were like super stoked that someone was matching with them.
Right.
But then it was now that excitement or that little drip of, adrenaline or whatever you get when you're like excited that something happened for you is completely gone because now you got that one. It's
Oh.
like for them, they never wanted to meet up. They would talk for a bit and joke back and forth, but they had no way. Because for them, I don't think they had the app to meet a guy or like have a
What do you
boyfriend.
think it was for?
I think they had the app so they could be like, look at all these guys who are interested
boost.
in me. Yeah, I don't think they would label it that on their own. I don't think they're consciously knowing that they're doing it for an ego boost. But I think that's why they
Essentially
enjoy the
exactly
app.
what I just said that
But
I like
even to
about it.
mess with you, did
Yeah.
any of them recognize you or no? Sorry, I'm like not even talking to the mic. Whatever. Hi.
you're good.
He can hear the levels, so
Okay.
you're good. You're good. But the I think on the app I was very obvious about being like I don't have all I brag about is my career.
So you'd think that they would want to
All my
meet
pictures like
you.
me with Jimmy Fallon, me with, like it was like I would like lead with all of that.
He's
Like,
pretty vain.
here's only a picture of my verified check mark. Ooh, like I don't know why.
I was surprised though in LA that you didn't get a bunch of people crawling up your butt just because of that reason.
Well, this app was designed to put people who are in the industry together. So it was all like models. I matched with some very high profile like actresses.
Yeah.
Because the app is designed to be, you can't get on it unless you're in the entertainment industry.
Oh, okay.
So that like when you say, like when you see like, I don't know, like how did so-and-so meet Usher? It's like, this is the app.
Really?
Because he wants
Get
to
on
meet
it.
models or other people in the entertainment industry, and they want to meet other people that are in the industry or
Yeah.
successful men. So they don't, and also they don't want to be on like a Bumble and then people screenshotting it. Like, is Usher on Bumble? Right? But he is a human who
Yeah.
wants
Yeah.
to date people and find people.
Yeah.
So this is an app designed for the industry.
Oh,
But
you should be
I-
their spokesperson.
Well, but I don't
You
like
didn't
it
have
because
success.
you get all these matches and then you get your hopes up like, dude, I just matched with such and such. And you
Right.
tell your friend because you're like, this is really cool for me. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll be hanging out with so-and-so. And then they'll just like ghost you and then compare with their other celebrity friends like, oh,
like
I matched
every other
with him
dating
too.
app. And eventually, at the end of the day, it's every other dating app except more famous.
Right. It is. And exactly.
But then isn't that like terrible to meet on those terms though? Like I just started realizing now that I follow you on Instagram, like I thought you were funny back in Nashville and I thought you were funny. But when I started following you, I didn't realize you were on NBC because I don't watch TV. I didn't know. I was like, he's nice and like he's doing his own thing, but I didn't know, not to be rude. I didn't really
No,
know
that's fine.
how much you were doing.
yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of bad when people kind of know because I mean, when I go on dates, they're like, so does your dad really eat 10 egg whites a day?
Oh, God.
You know, and I'm wondering if
Yeah.
like girls, I'm sure too, because me having my little brother, I see
Yeah.
the girls that come in and out, which is
Yeah.
great being an older sister because I'm like, I'm the one you can trust because I'm the older sister.
Right.
But it's like they really have an agenda.
Yeah, I
They
think that's
really do.
true to an extent. I think that's why I'm still single. Well, I'm choose to be single because my lifestyle is easier. But I will say, like, I joke about it on stage where I'm like, we're all single because we date the way Hooters hires. We're like, she's beautiful. What could go wrong? And then everything goes wrong because the truth, at least in my opinion, is you do value humor. You do value, like, you want to have things in common. You want to
Right.
have not the wrong things in common. You want to have like you got to comment each other. But
Right.
all of that has to be in this shell that
Right.
you do want to have sex with. So
True.
that's a hard combo.
Yeah.
It's hard to get all those qualities. A lot of the girls that
Not
I
if
see
you
I
lower
want to have
your
sex with, and they
standards.
have none of those qualities.
None of the qualities, right?
That's super
and
hard.
that's what I'm talking about with the dating apps. Why I'm not a fan. It's because it's just. I feel like it's just the.
That's
shell.
the beginning.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And
You
that's,
judge
but
the shell and then
that's-
hope the other shit's in it.
Right. Yeah. And I'm saying,
And then it's
I don't
also
have time.
timing too. If
Yeah.
you meet like the
Oh,
timing
yeah.
in your life that's like one of the most important things.
Yeah, you're like, I'm in love with her. I want to spend the rest of my life with her. She's the only woman I can think about. And she has this awesome husband. She's like a great guy. He's a really
my
cool
God.
dude.
Yikes. Yikes.
I'm hoping
man.
things don't work out
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah. Wish him the best, but
He's a sweetheart.
On his
Don't get
own.
me wrong.
On his
I just
own.
like
Yeah.
he should meet a different
Lock
lady.
them on all the social medias, but I hope.
I don't have anything bad to say about him except I want his wife.
And then like the thing too is because I've been single for almost 2 years and I choose to be single because you have to find somebody that makes your life better being with them and not
Right.
so many people are energy suckers.
Oh yeah.
You don't realize it. Like, and relationships have ebbs and flows and like highs and lows, but man, it's hard to find somebody that stays consistently,
Yeah.
you know, on their shit and doing well and being a positive force.
Or some relationships, like some people have convinced themselves, a lot of girls in my exam, I'm sure guys do it too, but I can only speak for the girls that I've ever dated. They think it's normal to be like, no, God, it just shows I care a lot by nagging you all the time or like giving you, you know what I'm saying? They go,
Yeah.
this is healthy. And you go, no, it's not healthy.
Yeah, and
What
I
you're
think
doing
the
is-
older you get, and the more you date too. Like, had I gotten married back to that guy, it's like you do need that experience as much
Yeah.
as like it sucks kind of getting older and being single, and you kind of start being like, maybe I'll be single forever.
I think it's better to be older and single.
Yeah, I think it's better because then I think as a girl, you start realizing like all that little stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm really grateful to have a good guy. And like, fine, go play golf with your buddies. I don't give a shit. Gives
Right.
me more alone time, you know, but you have to be in that mature spot too.
If
to-
you're 21 and your
not be
live-in
naggy.
boyfriend is going to golf with his buddies, you start thinking, well, why didn't you take me? And should I be mad about
I'd be
this?
like, "Go
And
ahead."
I'm going to hold him in contempt. And then that way, if I hold him in contempt, he'll really be sorry and he'll bring me flowers.
Yeah.
And like you play those little
Yeah,
games.
you can't have the point system. That
Yeah,
I think goes away
right.
when you're older. And I think guys too, it's like girls are the naggy thing, but then guys are also, you know, they have to appreciate a good woman too and
Right.
kind of
Well, yeah,
I
as you
agree.
get older, you're not looking at only the physical person. You're looking at the
Right.
connection and the bond.
I think my
Yeah.
commitment issues stem from how much I love my life every day. So,
Which is a great place to be in your life.
yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
just so happy all the time that I think, would I love a kid? Sure. Would I love like a woman who I love? Sure. But those are a threat to how great I have
Right.
now.
Right.
Because those are big changes. You don't just have a baby and go, oh, nothing changed. Same old, like everything changes.
Yeah.
But I love my everything now.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I
That's
don't want that to change.
Yeah, and she said it best.
Yeah.
Like if they're not making you like your life better,
Right.
there's
Right.
no point. And if your life's fantastic as it is, like
Yeah.
if someone's gonna make your life better right,
Right.
now, probably
Yeah.
not. Then
And I
it's
have
not
met,
good for anybody.
you know, I
Not
met
good for
a
either one
gal
of you.
that I was like, every day, this is making my everyday better. Like I enjoy these texts and I enjoy
These texts.
Well, yeah, like even making me enjoy that.
Yeah.
That I'm like waking up and like excited to send like that texting.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
But like when I was doing it with her, I was like, I enjoy doing this. I'm making
Yeah.
her laugh, sending her stupid pictures and
Yeah.
shit. So, yeah, it's tricky. Aaron got real quiet.
Yeah, you're talking about relationships.
Do you know Chris Kowalski, by the way? I was gonna ask you that because you know the games that you play on that show, he designs. Like he comes up with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
He's a buddy of
really
ours.
bad with
He
names.
wears this like
Fun.
he has like a pirate ship tattoo on his arm.
I'd have to see a picture of him.
Yeah, he's cool. He said really nice things about you.
Really?
Yeah.
I probably, if I
Don't
saw
worry,
his
he's
face,
engaged. He's not hitting on you. He's just like he said, you're just the best.
Oh, if I saw his face, I'd probably recognize
Yeah,
it. Him.
It.
yeah. You'd recognize
His face.
it.
Yeah, you make it like the face is not on the body.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the
If I
Wizard of
saw
Oz.
his face on the wall, like stripped off his body,
It's
I'd
me,
recognize it.
Chris.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to find a picture of him and then I mean, Chris seems familiar, but like the name
Yeah.
in production,
You
but I don't
remember
know.
him?
Yeah, it's a
Giant
normal
floating
name.
face. You didn't remember that.
That
Is
flappy
he like,
face.
what does he
Chris.
look like? Can you describe him?
He's a white man
Okay.
with
I
a
can
giant
confirm that.
tattoo, long hair.
Yeah.
He's
Long hair.
hyperactive. He's very hyper.
Is he
very
big,
hyper guy.
skinny?
Skinny.
He's a
Okay.
small
But
guy.
athletic build, but he's
Yeah.
a little bit.
He's
He'd be
lean.
like a center, or not a center, but like a point guard.
Yeah.
He seems
opposite
like
of the
God,
center.
he has the
Yeah.
personality of a bro, but looks like a hippie.
Yeah.
We just
I
gotta
don't know, I
show
don't
her a
see-
picture,
yeah,
guys.
I
We'll
just
show
need
her
to
a
see
Yeah,
picture.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at dudes
Okay.
with tails. I think Chris Kowalski's got a tail, so it's coming up here.
Dudes
Oh my
with tails
God.
is going to be the title of this episode.
Oh my god.
Dudes with tails.
Oh shit. You
think
guys
that's
really
hot.
are making me laugh. What time is it? Just wondering.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What time
it's
is it?
8 o'clock exactly.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
cool.
I'm good on time. I just have to like be 10 minutes away by like
8:15.
8:55.
Oh, 8:55.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're actually all wrapped up here.
Yay.
So now we can
Boom.
just hang.
Roasted.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
you're
This
the best.
is really fun.
Absolutely. You're welcome back anytime.
Aw.
It's not the Friend Zone podcast. It's the Friendship podcast. Right. Brooke Hogan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Friendship.
How great was that? Brooke Hogan, thank you for coming to my house. Thanks for being on the pod. Big thanks to Tony Reavis. Big thanks to Aaron Michael Marsh for being a little jerky. You guys make me so happy. This has been very fun to do. If you want to sponsor the podcast, reach out to us and let us know. Also, if you want to watch the podcast, or if you're already watching the podcast, thank you. But if you'd like to watch this podcast, we have it on video for you. You just have to go to patreon.com/JeffDye. Subscribe, and you'll be able to watch the podcast every week. It adds another little layer that I think is pretty fun. Otherwise, keep listening and keep subscribing, keep rating. We're happy just to have you here and happy to have you be listening. We love you guys. Thanks especially to our Patreons for making it possible. And yeah, I'll see you next week.